Hello, my motor enthusiasts. You're tuned in to F1 Motor Fever podcast, and today we have quite the topic to discuss.
Indeed, Enzo Watts. Lots of behind-the-scenes action happening in the world of Formula One, isn't there?
Spot on, William. Ferrari's team principal Fred Vasseur is stirring things up in the technical department.
And it's not just any shake-up. They're trying to rope in big engineering names, correct?
That's right. The name that's making the rounds is Waché, who has been instrumental in developing recent Red Bull cars.
Quite ambitious. But it seems like Ferrari is looking at a long-term strategy here.
Absolutely. They see Waché as a part of their long-term plans, and they're hoping to use the Hamilton effect to sway him.
Speaking of Hamilton, he's set to join Ferrari in 2025, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Ferrari is pulling out all the stops to gather the biggest names in the sport.
Interesting times ahead. But there are some rumors about Adrian Newey as well, aren't there?
Indeed. While Newey would have been a logical target, Waché seems to be their first choice. Although only time will tell what happens.
A lot more to discuss then. Exciting things in store for all of us motor enthusiasts.
Hello everyone, I'm Enzo, your fearless guide through the thrilling world of Formula One, hailing from the heart of London. Alongside me is our wise and eloquent commentator from Birmingham, the one and only Mr. William.
A pleasure to be here, as always, Enzo.
We're here on F1 Motor Fever podcast, bringing you your daily dose of F1 chatter. If you share our love for the sport, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and drop us a comment. Sharing this podcast with your friends and family also helps immensely in keeping this show on the road.
And believe us, today's episode is one you'll want to share. There are some big moves happening behind the scenes.
Absolutely, William. In fact, I can't believe the news we'll be discussing today. This is sure to be a game changer for the sport and its fans.
It's safe to say we're in for quite the ride.
Indeed, so why wait any longer? Let's dive in. Gentlefolks, start your engines because it's time to go full throttle. So it seems that Ferrari, under the leadership of Fred Vasseur, is on a major hunt. They've got their sights firmly set on big engineering names in the sport, particularly Waché.
Yes, it's quite clear that Ferrari is leaving no stone unturned in strengthening their technical department. Quite a bold move, isn't it?
Certainly. And it's interesting to note that despite initial resistance from Waché, Ferrari is not backing down. According to rumors, Waché might be considering a move to the Scuderia.
And it seems that the signing of Lewis Hamilton has given the team a boost of confidence. They're calling it the Hamilton effect, I believe.
That's right. With Hamilton on board, Ferrari is showing that they're in the game to attract the biggest names in the sport. They're hoping to use this momentum to bring in the big name on the technical front.
And they've already got Loic Serra joining them in 2025, haven't they?
Yes, but it seems Waché is the real catch thereafter. His significant role in developing recent Red Bull cars is something they're eager to bring to their team.
It's quite a goal. Red Bull had the best chassis last year, no doubt thanks to Waché's work.
Absolutely. And according to reports, Waché has even discussed a possible salary at Ferrari. But it appears he's also waiting to see what happens with Christian Horner at Red Bull.
So it's a case of watch this space, I suppose?
Indeed. Only time will reveal what move Waché will make. But it's undeniable that Ferrari is determined to strengthen their team and position themselves as a dominant force once more. And it doesn't stop there, does it? Ferrari seems intent on strengthening their technical team alongside creating a powerful driver duo in Charles Leclerc and Hamilton. It seems they're not settling for anything less than the best.
Absolutely. It's clear they're pushing to develop the strongest car in the field. But a strong car requires a strong technical team, and that's where Waché comes into play.
Indeed, and considering that Waché is only 49 years old, it seems Ferrari is planning for the long term. They're looking to secure a figure who can play a major role in the team for years to come.
Newey would have been a logical choice, but, as we know, he's turned down Ferrari on multiple occasions. So, Waché is looking more and more like the top candidate.
Interestingly, the major rule changes set for 2026 also play a part in this. Ferrari's keen to bring Waché on board as soon as possible, considering the compulsory gardening leave period.
Signing him in the coming months would certainly be a strategic move. It would allow him to have a significant impact on the development of Ferrari's 2026 car.
With Hamilton's signing, Vasseur has shown he's not just all talk, but his promise to strengthen the technical team remains to be seen. The rumor mill around Waché at least suggests that there's a clear strategy in place.
And a clear strategy is something Ferrari seemed to lack before Vasseur's arrival. It's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds.
William Turner, let's take a gander at what the internet pundits are saying, shall we?
Yes, let's have a peek. A Grand Zebra 1585 has stated, and I quote, "Alpine F1 team didn't wait for Hamilton move to start driver talks," unquote.
Oh, that's interesting.
It stirs up a riveting thread of comments. Porsche 4 Life, for instance, is skeptical, saying, quote, "They say this now, and yet why do I feel like it'll come out in July that both contracts were bungled and they don't have any drivers?" Unquote.
A bit pessimistic, eh?
Appears so. Imaginary Pattern 802, however, considers Albon as a top priority over Ocon.
Really?
Yes, but AP1704 disagrees, arguing that Ocon had a relatively strong 2022 season and secured a podium last year. He also adds that Ocon often gets treated unfairly.
I see.
But then Bernard Toasty retorts, quote, "Ocon is not a top driver. He's a midfielder at best," unquote.
He's got some strong opinions there.
Indeed. Driver My Orange asks for proof of Albon's superiority over Ocon, and Pull Pin Throwaway asserts that it's because Albon has, quote, "dragged the Williams into positions it had no business being in week after week," unquote.
He's got a point.
And finally, No Student 9678 argues that Ocon is a solid pick for Mercedes, given the scarcity of top drivers available for them. He concludes, quote, "So why not pick up a driver that might not be a world beater, but is pretty decent and already well integrated into your ecosystem until one of your talents is ready for the seat," unquote.
A compelling argument. I suppose only time will tell how this plays out. And that brings us to the checkered flag for today's episode of F1 Motor Fever podcast. We've navigated through the circuit of the latest Formula One developments, shared insights, and analyzed strategies. A massive thank you for joining us and being part of this journey. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you won't miss out on any future episodes. Sharing is caring, so do spread the word about our podcast in your social circles, whether it's over a pint at the pub or a cuppa at home.
That's the spirit, Enzo. Remember, folks, if there's one thing as exhilarating as the thrill of the race, it's the thrill of being part of a community that loves the sport. Tune in daily, because there's always a pit stop full of action waiting for you right here on F1 Motor Fever podcast. And oh, watch this space. We've got some cracking stuff coming your way.
Couldn't have put it better myself, William. Thank you again to our amazing listeners. We're already looking forward to the next episode, and we hope you are too. Enzo and William, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road. Our channel's content is pure gold.